guys? It's Cheat Codes Podcast. It's Deshaun and Cortez, and we doing wrestling again. What do you know?
Indeed.
It might have something to do with the fact that WWE just did a pay-per-view over the weekend. Possibly, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, so anywho, so we're gonna hop right into it. WWE did Hell in a Cell this weekend, bro. And it was okay. It was okay. I'll tell you why it was just okay. Like they had a good layout with some matches, you know, like the marquee matches, you know, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, Sasha Banks and Bayley. Like those were like the headline matches. And then, you know, you got a couple other things that mixed in there here and there. Initially I was bothered by the opening match. The opening match, they opened with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Now, for me personally, and I assume a lot of other fans out there, this was what we came to see.
Right. So you thought it would have been like
right. You know, I'm thinking they're gonna close the show. Yeah. And I listened to Jim Cornette, right, and he had a good point about why this match went on first. Because like I said, for me, this was what I came to see. This is the one I wanted to see. I wanted to see what they were going to do, how they were going to put it together, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But when it came out first, I was a little thrown off. I was like, and my initial thought was, you know, they were going to pull some kind of hokey, they were going to try to pull some bullshit off, you know? Right. That was my initial thought. But I was like, okay, let me see what happens. And, you know, I was glad they didn't. They really didn't. They kind of... They had a good format, you know. They stuck to it because like my worry was that they were gonna throw Goldberg out there some way somehow, you know, especially one of their last like kind of segments on SmackDown. You could see him in the crowd, like it was like 2 weeks ago. You saw him in the crowd watching the match. So I was like, oh shit, they gonna throw Goldberg out there. He gonna beat Roman Reigns in 10 seconds with 2 spears and 3 jackhammers.
Exactly.
So that was my worry, and I was like, oh hell. I was like, they probably, and my thinking was like, okay, they're gonna pull some bullshit, so they're gonna get it out the way first because they know they're gonna piss some people off, and then they're gonna try to get on with the rest of the show after that. That was my thinking. But then, you know, listening to Cornette, he had a good point. Paul Heyman has had a lot to do with like the layout of the matches, the storylines, the things they say, the way they act. He's had his hands all in it. And Cornette's point, which I think probably had a lot to do with it, was the fact that, you know, Hell in a Cell really used to mean something. It used to be like tough. Like when you think Hell in a Cell, your first thought is Undertaker and Mankind and him getting thrown from the top of the cage. But then you also think about, you know, Undertaker and Triple H in Hell in a Cell, you know.
It's been a lot of classic Hell in a Cell.
Right. And like everyone you see, it's always like blood everywhere. A lot of it's hard hitting. It's supposed to be like the final solution. Like we can't solve our issues any other way. So we locked in this cage. We're gonna figure this shit out one way or the other. That's what it's supposed to be. But now everybody get a Hell in a Cell. They got a whole pay-per-view for it. So they had right. So they had 3 Hell in a Cell matches lined up for the night. So long way around it. But Cornette's point was that, you know, Paul Heyman being as smart as he is and having as much experience as he had with the business, he knew, let's get ours out there first. Let's be first. You know, that way everything we do, like anything that happens after, is just gonna be compared to us and not the other way around.
Right. So
his thinking, which I think made sense, they went first. You know, they did their shit. It was fresh. It was new as far as the night's concerned anyway. So it was fresh. It was new. Right. We hadn't seen a Hell in a Cell tonight yet. And I'll admit, after that one, I found it very hard to have like any interest in anything that came after. Like I was just like, that's what I wanted to see. I was a little spent, to be honest. And you know, the shows can run kind of long sometimes.
And he probably felt like, just like it would have been the opposite. Like you seen the wrestler and you like, I don't want to sit here and watch. But by the time it came to them, you would have had viewers.
Right. You might have been burned out. Or been like kind of like indifferent to what happens. All right. So the match comes out, and I think one of the best things about this match is just been the trash talk between the two. Like it's stuff that I feel like my biggest issue with WWE and the way people talk, I don't feel like that's how real people talk.
Right.
This one I think was what people like the most is like this is what it feels like people would really say, you know, if they ever got to this like this level of conflict with another person, let alone a family member. So a lot of the times in the match you hear Roman, you know, saying stuff like, "You're making me do this. You're making me do stuff I don't want to do to you. Like you know I love it. You're making me the bad guy right now." Like that stuff I feel like, you know, a family would say in like a real dispute.
Exactly.
And so, you know, they start out well, you know, of course, Roman Reigns dominating early, knocking Uso around. Uso hits a couple dives. And, you know, everything looked good. They were going well. Uso was getting a little bit in. And, like, he's been really good on his own. Like, I did not expect that. I was real concerned when they didn't bring him out. Like, when they brought him out, I was real concerned about that. I didn't know what to expect from him. You know, especially, like, I've never seen him without his brother. So, like, it's been... I mean, he's really shown something like that he can stand on his own. I mean, it helps too that they've had like such a good storyline and such a good like program to work together. But like, you know, I mean, he's making it work too. Like, it don't just happen no matter who you put in there.
Right. And so, I think it's that comfortability that you have because it's your cousin / big brother type thing. Like, y'all got that camaraderie already. So
right.
It just makes things easier to do and perform. Right.
Yeah, and so, you know, they used a couple different weapons. You know, of course, they come out and get the chair, you know, trying to get a chair shot in. He gets hit with a drop kick, and like I said, he got caught with a spear. He went and, you know, he hit him one time, got him up, went to hit him again. Third time around, though, he got caught with a super kick, and a splash off the top rope. You know, get your quick count. And then Uso rolls out of the ring and gets a leather strap from under the belt, under the ring. I can't remember the last time I saw like a strap like that. Like that thing had to be about like 2 inches, 3 inches wide. Like it was wide and thick, dude. And yeah, and so he was tagging him with it, hitting him over the back with it. You know, then turnabout's fair play. He got hit a couple times. Only thing I didn't like though, the choke just didn't look very well. Like he tried to wrap it around his neck and choke him with it, and it just like they like when it's not like a seamless motion, you know, like when you got to kind of go back and do it again, like that's when you start to see through it, and like you kind of like you got it like to enjoy wrestling anyway. You kind of got to like suspend your belief and like general logic for a while just to kind of sit back and enjoy. And when you see that, you kind of snap back to reality a little bit.
Right.
And one thing I didn't like though was the referee the whole time. He was just all over both of them. It was like, you quit.
Come on, bro. Quit.
Right.
Just say like I quit. We can end this. Just say I quit. Like, damn,
like I couldn't say that I wouldn't have been there and been like, back the fuck up, bro. Like I'm having a match. All right. Move. Move.
All in my face.
Right. So. Say all that to say the referee got to be a little annoying.
Right. It's one thing I didn't like.
What's that?
And I didn't like how Roman Reigns popped up. Like he got revived on Call of Duty. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I'm talking about he getting choked out and then he just...
You know, I saw that. I watched that to me, like they do that a lot in wrestling, and like I'll tell you about another one I saw in a second that was even worse than that to me.
That deep breath.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, you can't win the match unless you like the guy can actually say it apparently. So like choking him out doesn't do any good. So then you kind of gotta wait on him to kind of wake up and revive technically. And
it happened so quick.
Yeah,
it was so quick, dog. I was like, okay, I tried. I gave it a go.
All right. Yeah, you try.
That's right.
All right. So at one point, Reigns got him in. He's been using his guillotine choke. He kind of he busted it out for everybody. And when he went against Braun Strowman, poor Braun Strowman, dude, they killed this guy. But anywho. That's another day, bro. So Strowman was the first one that tapped out to the guillotine choke. I think he used it again last week on SmackDown, but you know he brought it into the cell with him, put it on Jey Uso. Jey passed out before he quit, and you know of course that pissed Roman off. So he drug him all around the ring, just whooping his ass. At one point, he hit him with the drive-by drop kick. You know when that land on the apron, he comes out from the side. So he hit him with the drive-by with the steel steps next to his head. Like I said, referee was trying to stop the match. Roman Reigns stopped him. Just to be real about it. So he stopped the, which I like that. Like he's kind of like, you know what? No, he's like, we got some. We working on something here, bro. Get out the way. Right. So after that, after he threw the referee out the ring, which he tossed him kind of, I don't know if he tossed him hard or the referee just kind of overdid it, but he went over that top rope. He had a little air on him when he went over that rope.
Get your ass on it.
All right, so after that, a bunch of officials, like backstage guys came out, and it was, I got what they were going for. They're trying to show, he's uncontrollable. There's a lot of carnage. It's taking a whole lot of people to stop him. But like for me, that part kind of fell flat. And honestly, it would have been better if he'd have just beat the shit out of all of them, like all the people that came out to the ring. But he really did, and they just all kind of like scattered and ran. I'm like, okay, it is like 8 of y'all, and like this one guy. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. If we ever in the 8-on-1 fight, I'm willing to take my chance. I might catch one. He might get me once or twice, but
he might get one of us.
Right. I'm willing to take my chances that we gonna win that fight.
No, definitely.
Unless he just like really knows something, bro. Like I'm willing to take our chances. I don't know about you.
8-on-1, unless he got that equalizer.
All right.
It's the only way he's gonna win that.
Hey, even then he got to be quick with it. Hey, like I said, again, he might get 1 or 2, maybe.
That be automatic.
All right, so
doing this,
right?
I got him.
All right, so he's chasing all of them away or whatever, and then he's about to he picks up the steel steps, and he's about to like smash his head with them, right? That's when Jimmy comes out again, and he starts using one of the things he did though. He comes out and he calls him by his real name. He calls Jay by his real name, and he's begging like Roman Reigns to stop, and then Roman Reigns starts crying, like bawling his eyes out in the ring. And then him and Jay, like they kind of like shake hands, hold hands for a second. Then he slaps the choke on him. I was like, this motherfucker. And that's how it wasn't even I'm sorry, bro. It's just kind of like he was crying, and this thing, he yanked him in close, and I thought he was gonna give him a hug, and then he choked him. Like, what the damn? Right. And so that's how and then Jimmy struggling to get out of the choke. He keeps reaching for Jay. Jay comes to, and then that's when he quits. Like when his brother was
getting choked.
Yeah, that's when he quit. And then the end of the match, they're both the Usos laid out in the ring, and then Alpha and Sika, the Wild Samoans, I think Alpha is Roman Reigns' dad. And they come out to the ring, like they come out, they meet him on stage, and they give him the lay, and really like just kind of signal him as like the real like leader of the family going forward. Which I thought that was a good moment, to see him out there with his pops and everything. Like we've never seen them like really together like in WWE. You've seen pictures of them, but I thought that was a good little touch. And like I said, they had something really good. It was a really good story. But, like after all that, dude, like I didn't want to see anything else. Like that was like, I mean, outside of somebody getting tossed from the top of the cage, I mean, like Mankind, there wasn't a whole lot you could have really did that would have caught my attention. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Chair shots? They did chairs. They had a strap. The cage opened and people ran in. I mean, what else can you really do?
Not too much. It's not too much that wrestlers nowadays are willing to do.
Right, and the thing that got me is there was no blood either. Like in my mind, I want what's safe for everybody, of course. But in my mind, I feel like Hell in a Cell, you gotta bleed. Like somewhere or another, you gotta.
That might have been a thing where they probably like they wanted. They might have. I'm not saying that they did, but they might have wanted to do it. But they were just like with this whole COVID shit. They don't know.
That's a good point. It could have been, something related to that.
But yeah, I agree. Like anything like that, it got to be some blood, bro.
Yeah. That's the only way it feels like final. So now, and consequences of the match, I forgot to mention. So there were consequences to the match, like once he quit. And I'm a little confused on exactly what the consequences are because I've heard two different things. One said, Jey Uso and his immediate family, they were going to be cast out of the family, right? Another thing they said during the program was that they were gonna that Jey Uso was gonna kind of be like almost like a slave essentially to Roman Reigns, like he was gonna have to do his bidding. So like I don't really know what they were. I knew there was gonna be consequences other than just saying I quit and he's the winner. Like I knew there's like other consequences that are coming along with it, but I'm not quite sure exactly what they are yet. So we gotta really watch SmackDown to see if they clarify that or point it one way or the other.
I remember hearing something like he was like, "You gotta call me tribal chief," and then
right, yeah, that was the last thing, and so
Jimmy,
but there was more to that.
You remember when they did that video where Jimmy was acting like he was Jay, when he was like sitting in, I guess, Roman's area when Roman was out there in the ring.
Oh, okay.
Then,
I think I remember.
That little situation happened. Then Roman was like, "But since you got your brother involved," I think he said, "If you don't call me tribal chief, then both of y'all are cast out, and y'all kids, your wives, and your children are cast out."
Right. I remember that part. I got to go back and see if they use Jimmy again. But yeah, so that was that match, and like I said, bro, I was a little spent after that. Like they really could have closed the show for me on that one. And so up next is Jeff Hardy and Elias, and I like both the guys, I do, but I'll be honest, I hadn't been interested in the Jeff Hardy match in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I can't really put my finger on it. I still like Jeff Hardy, don't get me wrong. Now I love his theme music. Always takes me back to being a kid, but I mean, I really haven't been interested in anything he's done since he got back. I don't know why. Like since him and his brother came back, they won the tag titles at WrestleMania, after New Day introduced them, and after that I really haven't been interested in anything. Like I mean, I don't know how much longer his contract is with him. It might be time to hang it up. I mean, like I said, I'm just not very interested in anything he does. So this match, like, that was one of the reasons this match fell flat for me too. The other one was Elias. I like Elias. I think he really had something. I think his gimmick hadn't got old, like him being like the disgruntled singer or whatnot and insulting people. Right. It hasn't got old, but it's not hitting for me like it used to. And I think it's because like he doesn't have any real matches. Like he'll have a match here and there, and that's about it. Like you might see him every once in a while. Like I don't know. I know he had like a recent injury or something, and he's like recorded an album while he was out. So there's always like the music thing that he's working at, the music angle. But I haven't consistently seen him like in matches to like really invest in him yet and like feel like he might be something. Like he's cool, he's got a good look, good size and all that, but that's about it. Like I don't really care two ways about Elias at this point. And I think that's their fault though when I give it. Like I mean it's on him too. He's got to. I think he can do more to maximize his on-screen time. But I think they definitely got to like let him wrestle more. Like the insults and the singing is cool, but at some point you want to see what he can do in the ring.
Right.
But so like all that being said, them following Roman Reigns and Uso, like I don't think I was gonna like any match that came up right after that. Yeah. So. And like I said, maybe they can do better. They are two talented guys, but like I said, this one fell flat for me. So I was good. And then, it ended with a DQ finish. Jeff Hardy hit him with the guitar. So, I mean, they're probably going to continue this feud, and it's probably going to keep going for a few more weeks or whatever. But if maybe something better will come out of it. But this one right here, they could have kept that.
They kept it.
Yeah. Next up, it was The Miz versus Otis for the Money in the Bank contract. And to me, like
They
Like
have
I didn't like.
matches for that now.
Is that,
I
and
thought
yeah,
you
that's what
once you won, you just had it.
right. So I'm like, there's no way you can take like let's be real about this. Like this is why I think WWE messed up and dropped the ball out on this one. If I win Money in the Bank, right? Fair and square. Otis won the match fair and square, right? I think Miz is like on the show. His biggest gripe was that Otis didn't have to climb the ladder to get it. But anywho, he got the briefcase. He won. Whatever,
So how
right?
did he get it?
It fell from the top of the ladder with AJ Styles, and I can't forget who was up there with him. It might have been AJ Styles and the Miz. I can't remember. I had to go back and look. I do remember AJ being up there at the end. But so whatever way it happened, it fell into Otis's lap essentially. Whatever, he got it. I never felt like they were gonna put the belt on him anyway, and that was before Roman Reigns came back and he was like this hot like heel that he is now. Like they're definitely not gonna take the belt off Roman to put it on Otis. They're not that dumb. So, but
Otis
all
on
that
SmackDown or Raw?
He's on SmackDown, and his partner Tucker got sent to Raw now, so they split them up. So, which we knew that was coming anyway. They've been really focused on Otis for like pretty much since the Money in the Bank contract. So we knew him and Tucker weren't gonna last too much longer. But so I say all that to say this: if I won that, and let's call be like in real life, outside of wrestling, if I won something, you're not gonna take me to court and say it wasn't fair that I won it and think you got a legitimate shot. First off, I'm not showing up to fucking court.
Exactly.
What you gonna do? Right. So I don't understand why it even went as far as it did. Because like just being real about it, like you can't take me to court for something I won.
Exactly.
Like that's just it was stupid. So they lost me there anyway. Not to mention the fact that I can't take Otis serious. Like I said, I've been saying for the longest, he needs some new finisher. That Caterpillar ain't gonna cut it. But he's like a legit like Olympic wrestler, bro. Like they've made this guy such a fucking joke. It's ridiculous, man. Like a legit Olympic wrestler, dude. Like high collegiate, Pan Olympic wrestler. Like Otis is like the real, he's like real shit with the wrestling, dude.
Right.
And they just made a joke out of him, bro. Like, I mean, like you said, he's a likable guy, like on camera and all from what I've seen. So like, I think there's definitely like something there. I just wish they didn't honestly like the both of them out, because like the other guys, high level collegiate wrestler too. Like, I don't understand why they don't let them show that. Like, they just made kind of a joke out of them, stuck them with a gimmick, and it's going
when
nowhere.
When they first came in, they
just they stuck
doing their thing, but
they've been a goofy tag team since NXT. They've been the same goofy tag team, yeah. And so
I didn't remember seeing them in WWE the first time. They just came in, kind of did a thing with some ass, and then
yeah. Like they're both like really good, and like I think both are like underrated as far as their ring work is concerned. I mean, they're both pretty young, so there's time to rectify it, but it's a shame that what they're doing with them. So, anywho, Tucker, his what used to be partner, hits him in the head with the briefcase behind the ref's back. The Miz gets the 1, 2, 3. Now he's the Money in the Bank champ. And they split up heavy machinery. So they were talking backstage, and Tucker, he was giving his whole spiel about how he's the one, he's the real mastermind behind the group, and how Otis wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for him. And it started out kind of like I was just kind of blah to the promo, and then I feel like he started to kind of like find his wheels and like find himself with it, like he was really starting to come along with it. And then they just kind of ended it. Otis came running in, and I was like, well, damn, like you got to give a guy some time to like figure himself out. Like this is his like first like heel promo on TV. I'm pretty sure it's the first time he's been a bad guy in the company, because they're both still new, and like you give him a few minutes to figure it out. Like he was really just starting to come along, and they cut it short.
Catch his own,
yeah, and they cut his legs out from under him. So we'll see where they go with that.
WWE MO though, they'll do shit like that.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not terribly interested in it right now. So we'll see what happens. Next up, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Women's, they want the SmackDown women's title. Yeah. Another Hell in a Cell.
Did anything pop up?
Nah, really, bro.
Hey, back in the day, man, that was some.
That was what I know. That was what they did back in the day.
That was what they did, brother.
Yeah,
But yeah, they not today. Oh no, not that.
Yeah, no. All right, so they're going, and this match was good. It was a good match. It went a bit long though, for my taste, man. And I think it went long because number one, I think it went long. Number two, I think I was ready for this show to be over.
Like you said after the Roman
right.
and the Jay, it was just like after that you was like, all right.
Yeah. So I mean, and they did what they could to make it an entertaining match. Breaking out the kendo sticks, trying to use tables, and things like that. And it was just a couple spots like trying to set up the table where they couldn't quite get it. And like it's that thing again where like if you don't get it on the first try, which I understand is not a perfect world, but then like it's just kind of like people like we can kind of see through it again, like what you're doing. And so like they had a couple spots like that, like I said, one where they were outside trying to set up a table. Another was Bailey trying to set up one spot she had with some kendo sticks. She was trying to duct tape them together. So first she struggled getting the tape off, then she struggled getting the tape around the kendo stick, and then when that couldn't happen, she just kind of like said fuck it and gave up and started talking shit to Michael Cole. Which they've got the best feud going, honestly, bro. It's been real funny just hearing the two of them go back and forth.
They got beef?
Yeah, she's always fucking with him. So it's funny to me. I love those matches. Like sometimes she'll be in the middle of the match and she'll be like, "Shut up, Michael." Just just random shit. Or she'll do something. She'll say, "Did you see that, Michael? Did you see that? What do you got to say now?" So it's always
hilarious.
Yeah, I love that. Bailey's been great as a heel, which I didn't think she could do. So that was a pleasant surprise over the past year. And so, they're going, like I said, the match went a little long, and they had some good spots, though. Like, it was a lot of back and forth. Everybody, like, both of them definitely got to hit their shit and get their moves in, and I think it was good. For the ending, Bailey set up a ladder across two chairs to make a bridge in the ring. She spray painted Sasha Banks with some black spray paint and hit her like with a letter X. I really thought she was about to bring out the old NWO, man, like put that on her, bro. I got excited for a minute, but she put an X on her, kind of like an X marks the spot, and then she was going. I think she was going for an elbow, but she ended up throwing a chair at her. Sasha Banks missed it. She hit Bailey with the belly suplex, and then she got a 2 count after that, and then after that she locked in the bank statement, and then she kind of had her head like in the chair and she was just smashing her face against the chair the whole time until she tapped out. So Sasha Banks the new women's champ.
My baby got mad.
Right.
You think, so girl?
So like I said, I think as a whole, like I did love the match. So as a whole, it was a good match. I just think I was a little mentally like spent after, like I said, after watching Jay and Roman in the beginning. But this match was great though. I'd watch it again. And then after that, and I'm gonna touch on this real quick. It was Bobby Lashley and Slapjack. I love the Hurt Business. They look great. I want them to move on from Retribution, like point blank. Retribution, I didn't like in the beginning. I said it before on Twitter. I said it like 2 months ago. I said they'd be done and gone in 6 months. So they got about 3 months left now, like roughly. They got about 3 months left before I feel like WWE just gonna kind of write them off TV. But anyway, and what sucks with Mustafa Ali, because I think he could really be like a good heel, especially with a group behind him. But they just get their asses whooped, bro. Like over and over again, they get their asses whooped. So we'll see what happens after that. We'll see where they go from here.
I've seen a little bit of them, but I don't like.
I didn't like them, and
the group as a whole, because they just don't feel like they match
they don't feel
up.
They don't feel like a threat.
Right.
They never felt like a threat. And they damn sure don't feel
they
like
were just jumping people.
Right. And I wish they would get them better masks, bro. Like everybody has to fix their mask the whole time they're in the ring. Like every move, I see each one of them adjusting the mask, except for what's the guy? T-Bar, I think the tall one with kind of like the mohawk, but his mask has like the least amount of material on it, so he don't have as much to worry about. But the rest of them, they hit one, like they bounce off the rope one time, they're fixing their mask again. So that's just got to be annoying.
I seen that. Was it Raw or something? You remember I had called you. I was like, you won't believe what I'm looking at.
Right. You was actually watching, yeah.
Right. It was that one when he I think what they do with T-Bar, but Bobby Lashley threw him against the rope.
I think it
was. Hit the rope while he was like hitting the rope, he tried to fish the mask, and then I was like,
and that's what most of their matches are like. For the most part, like they get hit with a move or do a move, and then they got to fix their mask like right after. I feel for all of them really, because like outside of all this, I was really in like. Dominic Dijakovic was doing very well. Shane Thorne had kind of fallen off a little bit. They keep sending him in tag teams, so I'm waiting to see where he goes. Mia Yim was doing great on her own. What's the other guy? Dino Madden. He hasn't been on TV yet, to my knowledge, so I don't have a whole lot of like feelings about him one way or the other. But it's a disservice all them being in this group. I mean, they're all young and promising, so we'll see what happens. But bro, I'm gonna tell you, this is how the match ended. Bobby Lashley beat all four of them by himself. All four of the guys from.
Was it a tag team match?
Nope. So
it was just 1-on-1, but then they all came out there.
Yep, and he beat the dog shit out of all of them. He beat them before his group got down there to help. Before the rest of the Hurt Business came down. So they tell you,
I got this one, brother.
All right. So they tell you what they think of them. So he beat the dog shit out of all of them.
Need somebody like that.
Yeah, and like I said, so they show you what they think of them. 4 or 5 guys couldn't beat one. They couldn't get a hand on. He was slamming and tossing them all over the ring. But
I hope they don't do Hurt Business like they did Nation of Domination.
I don't know what they're going to. I hope they do something with them. I don't know what. I'm nervous though.
I wanted to end like Nation Domination because that was just the most stupidest.
How did that end? I don't remember.
Everybody started fighting each other.
Okay.
Pretty much it was like this. You know, Rock was the young guy. Farouk was the leader.
Oh yeah, he kind of took over and split him up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Hopefully they learn from that. We'll see. All right. So last matchup, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm already spent. I'm tired. This match, and like their style is a little more like slow and like hard hitting anyway. So it wasn't gonna be like, I think I would have needed like something like fast paced to kind of pick my attention up. Right. And we're not gonna get that from these two. We just like I know that we're not gonna get that from these two. So it's whatever with that one. And they had some good spots in here. It was a lot of stuff that I don't know, like it was a good match overall. I really didn't want to see McIntyre lose the belt, but he did.
Oh man.
Yeah, like he was like, I mean, it was a good back and forth. He was making his comebacks in there, and one thing like that, and this is what I was like, the first thing that came to mind was like, you hate when people just like jump up and get like this spark of energy when they're supposed to be done. Mm-hmm. So, ending to the match or whatever, right? They've been fighting. Randy Orton is got out of the cage. They're on the top of the cage, right? They're fighting again, and then of course neither one of them is going to take a fall like Mankind is. So they start climbing down. They throw a jab or two here and there. So they're climbing down, and they get about halfway down the cage, and then McIntyre gets knocked off and goes through a table. So he falls it had to be about 10 feet or so through the table, right? And he's bleeding out of the mouth and, trying to breathe and all that, right? So Randy Orton gets him back in the cage. After all that, he still has enough left in him to try to counter an RKO and try to hit him with a Claymore. My thing is, after that, like, you should just, like, Randy Orton should have just been able to drag him into the ring and pin him. Like, like, let's be real fight. You fall 10 feet through a table, bro. You not fighting no more, bro. It's a wrap for you, bro. Call it a night, man. Hey, look, bro. Hey, you didn't get this one. It's okay though. Look, bro. No harm, no foul. You didn't get this one, bro. There's just one for you. This one for you.
hey, bro. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Right. But anywho, Randy Orton hits the RKO. 14-time champ now. And I think too, I think they're probably gonna end up getting. I got a feeling the Miz is probably gonna take the cash in and take the belt off Orton at some point or another. But I realized the reason Randy Orton won. Survivor Series is coming up, and they're not gonna let us see Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns fight yet without some kind of like build and story to it. Just because like Triple H has been in, he did an interview recently. He felt like that was kind of like their big money match. He's like, it could be like a Rock and Stone Cold, or like I think like he said like Hogan and like Macho Man or something like that. Something along like the big historical feuds. He felt like they could be that, two of them. So they're not just gonna give it away at Survivor Series when it don't mean anything. So I'm like, in that respect, you know, I get why they took the belt off of Drew McIntyre. I see your face, bro. I know what you're thinking. I get it. It is what it is, but that's their thinking. I'm not gonna justify it. That's their thinking. That's why they did it, if you ask me.
That's hey. You throwing them out there. Some real big dogs.
Right. Ain't neither one of them there yet. We'll see what happens. I mean, they're both still fairly young, so they could get there. They
got the potential, most definitely. But
right. I think they're probably the closest out of everybody at this point. If I had to just like sit back and take a look at the roster, and
I agree with that. That would be the closest to having that kind of dynamic with each other. But the thing with The Rock and Stone Cold is that they were really cool and they had good moments. Like they can be in there joking with each other and having good moments, and then end up beating the shit out of each other the next day.
Right. I feel like people really just as a general consensus, I think people really just started kind of liking Roman Reigns anyway.
Right, because of the heel.
Yeah. So like we'll see like where they go from here. Maybe we'll get that match at some point or another. You know, I hope so. But
I mean, think it should be no time soon.
But maybe that was
late next year.
Yeah, but that was Hell in a Cell, bro. Like I said, not a bad show overall. Sasha Banks and Bayley like did really good, you know, especially representing for the women. Drew McIntyre and Orton, it was good. It was cool. I get why they did it. I didn't want to see McIntyre lose the belt, but I get why they did it. But like I said, after Roman and Jey Uso, they could have called it for me, bro. I was good after that.
Yeah, okay, so he won. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. Y'all got them. You good, bro. You good.
And my subscription.
Yeah, bro, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was crazy. That's
all right.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
So we'll see.
So y'all gonna think that I'm finna tune in. So I don't want y'all to do that. And maybe I have got a little bit closer to being somewhat interested in watching. But
they had their moments.
To that person who gets me there, it keeps me intrigued. I got something for you. Don't worry. Not us. I got something for you.
Okay, we'll see. We're gonna see how that pan out. But so we're gonna wrap this part up. Like I said, that was Hell in a Cell. It was an okay show, not bad. The Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, like I can't say enough about that. Like that's the one I'm really interested in still, just to kind of see where they go from here. So like I said, not a bad show overall. And I mean, like I said, it was a good show. It was Hell in a Cell. It was about as good as could be. I think I really couldn't think of anything, I mean, outside of the order of it, but it is what it is. Like I said, there's been cheat codes. Like I said, we do cover wrestling fairly often. We do live tweets during Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. We're definitely open to like any suggestions, anyone that just wants to sit back and talk wrestling with us. We're always looking to interact. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cheat Codes YT on YouTube. Emails, DMs, all that's open. Hit us up.
Everything but calls and texts.
All right. Bye. All right.